Hello and welcome. You're watching India Today. I'm Rahul Kamal. You're seeing our live and continuing coverage of the Bihar political drama. How is this likely to impact the 2024 Lok Sabha elections? In this hour of the broadcast, I'll bring you the latest snap poll done by C-Voter, which looks at how the voters of Bihar are seeing Nitish Kumar getting set to do another political somersault. And that's my top focus this hour.
Nitish back in NDA soon. What made Nitish do a palti? Will Nitish exit hurt the India alliance? What do voters think? Big Bihar poll tracker on political stock exchange.
The politicians aren't saying very much at this time. They're having to hedge, hum and haw because things aren't certain yet. So I thought for this special broadcast, let me keep the netas at bay and stick to those who can help you and I make sense of what's at play. I want to welcome first Yashwant Deshmukh, lead cephalogist, founder at C-Voter. He got his team to work through the weekend, and Republic did do a quick snap poll for us. This is done in the state of Bihar. We'll give you a sense of how voters in this crucial battleground state are looking at these political developments. With us is Ashutosh, who's been really piercing and sharp in his political insights. Amitabh Tiwari is back with us. Manisha Priyam understands the ins and outs of Bihar politics. She's travelled and researched extensively on the ground. Last but not least, the director of Lokniti CSTS, a cephalogist, Sanjay Kumar. So welcome to all our guests. I want to go across to question number one on this week's political stock exchange. Actually, this is the second time we're doing a political stock exchange this week, but then hey, so much has happened. Remember last time we were looking at Mamata Banerjee deciding to fight alone and the impact that may have in West Bengal and on the India alliance. Now there's a much bigger crisis. Nitish Kumar all set to jump ship. Question number one on the PSC. Do you think Nitish Kumar has made up his mind to join the NDA? 43% of the overall voters say yes. 47% of NDA voters say yes. 39% of opposition voters, those who in the sample said they wanted to vote for the opposition, are reconciled. Almost 4 in 10 seem reconciled to the idea that Nitish will join the NDA. About 30% across say they really don't know. So 1/3 don't know, can't say, but 43% overall voters seem to think Nitish Kumar has made up his mind. Do you think the tweets of Lalu Prasad Yadav's daughter Rohini have made it clear that the RJD-JDU alliance is going to fall apart? 44% of the overall respondents say yes. 52% of NDA voters. So NDA voters are going rah-rah. They're very happy. Nitish is coming back. So what if it reeks of political opportunism? It makes it easier to win Bihar. Opposition voters, their anguish coming through in these numbers. 37% of opposition voters also reconcile to the idea that Lalu's daughter's tweets suggest that the RJD-JDU are likely to split. And this is when I'll go across to our panel and start getting our first responses. What, according to you, is the reason for Nitish Kumar to leave the RJD Congress and head to the NDA? Let's take a look. Everybody has his own theory. Everybody has a political spin. This is India's most politically astute state. Remember, what do the voters in the state think? There was pressure from Lalu to make Tejaswi the chief minister, which there was. That's the number one choice of 22% of the respondents. Nitish was feeling suffocated in alliance with the RJD. Well, he's always feeling suffocated, eh, man? That's just the way he is. 20% of the respondents say this is the main reason. He wasn't getting the right kind of importance in the India alliance. That's 22% of the respondents. But number one, not by much, but number one in the list of reasons is his desire to stay in power, which was picked as the number one reason by almost 24% of the respondents, saying that he wanted to stay in power. About 12% saying they don't know. Now remember, there is wisdom in the crowds very often, and Yashwant Deshmukh, not by very much, but your data seems to pick up that voters in Bihar think that Nitish basically wants to stay in power after what happened at the Ram Temple consecration after the verdict in the 3 battleground states. Nitish Kumar seems to have, once again, earlier it used to be said that Lalu Yadav is the weather vane of Bihar politics. Now it seems Nitish Kumar is decidedly the weather vane. He figured that Team Modi was on a strong wicket. He said, hey, let me bat for Team Modi on a better pitch than on a crumbling pitch in Patna. It's good to bat on a Patta wicket.
Well, Rahul, the option 1 and option 4 pretty much are in the same direction on the last question that you mentioned, because Tejasvi being pushed to make the chief minister and he wanted to save the seat of the chief minister or remain in power. If you add those things, actually it almost like 50% of them saying very clear, this man wants to remain in power and he is a very, very, what should I say, just Mausam Vaigyanik that we used to say about late Ramvilas Paswan ji, that he knows which way it is going. He knew that the entire game plan of the India Alliance in Bihar might work for RJD and even for the Congress, but going against Modi at this point of time, I think he understood even within his own party and his colleagues that, half of his sitting Lok Sabha member of parliaments were in touch with the BJP and there were chances that they would switch over and contest on a BJP ticket. So he was sensing that winning a Lok Sabha election would be absolutely impossible for him within the alliance. And once he loses the Lok Sabha election, that means RJD wins more seats than JDU in the Lok Sabha election. It would be next to impossible for him to retain be in the chair of the chief minister. So I think that's a sheer political logic and calculation that the tactics of surviving, tactics of remaining in power, that has forced him to take this decision.
Ashutosh, in the long years that you've known Nitish Kumar, what best, according to you, explains the here and now? Why at this moment? Why after having taken the lead? And here, from, you and I have both met him enough number of times. He does try to appear as someone who cares about his public image and prestige. Now, if he keeps doing these political somersaults, surely he knows at the back of his head that the people would be laughing at him and he'd be the laughing stock. You're on mute right now, Ashutosh.
Now, it's a very carefully and cultivated image that he wants to be clean and he's very conscious of his image. But the fact of the matter is that Nitish Kumar has always been very hungry for power. And he's a very ambitious politician. There are very few politicians in the country who could be as ambitious as he is. And he has the political acumen to use RJD and the BJP both, because he knows and he knew that the RJD and the BJP, come what may, they will not come together. If even for a minute, if the BJP and the RJD could have come together, JD could have been finished. He used that situation, and that's one reason that Nitish Kumar had made himself relevant in Bihar politics. But let's not forget that it is because of the JDU's continuous being with the BJP that it has stopped the growth of BJP in Bihar. BJP, whenever has gone alone in Bihar election, take the 2014, BJP has got 29% vote share on its own. In 2017, again the BJP had gone alone. It has got 24% vote share. And its numbers were much better in terms of vote percentage, much better than JDU and the RJD. But in 2020, something has happened which should worry BJP, which should worry JDU both. For a simple reason, because this time, when the JDU and the BJP were together, RJD was contesting election, and still RJD, along with his alliance partners, had given a very, very tough fight to the Modi and Nitish Kumar together. And don't forget, both the alliances had 37% vote share. So that means it's worrisome for the BJP, not for the JDU. Because if the BJP has to come on its own in the Bihar, then it has to stop the growth of RJD, because RJD is growing in Bihar. After Lalu Prasad Yadav with the Nitish Kumar, when the Tejasvi has become the leader, he has got 23.1% vote share. The Congress got almost 10% vote share. The left has got 4.736% vote share. So even without JDU, this Gathbandhan still carries 37.27%. I'm not saying that this Gathbandhan is going to do something miraculous in the Lok Sabha election, but in the assembly election, this will be a formidable force.
Okay,
And this is
let me just spend a moment on the screen explaining the vote share and seat share dynamics of Bihar. And I'll start with the vote share data, which will give you a sense. And remember, this is just the starting point. This is not how things ultimately end up, because that's where chemistry has an important role to play as well. But this is the starting point. In the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP had 24% vote share by itself. The JDU had 22% vote share. The RJD had 16%. The Congress had 8%. And the Lok Jan Shakti party of the Paswans had 8%. The BJP at its peak in 2014 in the Lok Sabha elections had 30% vote share. Now, the arithmetic hope could have been, if the JDU, RJD and the Congress were together, it's far more than anything that the BJP could cobble up. But Amitabh Tiwari, elections are not just about arithmetic, they're also about chemistry, and implicit in the decision of the BJP to welcome back Nitish Kumar, despite him having stabbed them so brutally, is the calculation that they are better off with Nitish than without. So they didn't want to take any metaphorical political panga. They thought, we'll leave that till the 25 assembly elections. Right now, let's just ensure we win the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, BJP has a clear mission 400 and a mission 50% vote share. So without JDU, it was very difficult to achieve this mission. So now with JDU in the kitty, if he joins tomorrow, then BJP is very confident that it could sweep the state again like it did in 2019. Ashutosh Ji was talking about the fact that in 2000 BJP is a formidable alliance or a formidable force on its own. In 2014, when BJP contested alone, it won 31 seats. But in 2019, when they allied with Nitish Kumar, they swept the state. So that is what Nitish Kumar brings to the table, that additional 16% vote share, which helps BJP sweep the state in Lok Sabha election along with the Modi factor. That's number one. Number two, in the Vidhan Sabha elections of 2020, BJP got 20% and JDU 16%. But in terms of seats, BJP got 78 or 74, 75 and JDU got 43. That was again because of a calculated strategy of damaging JDU through LJP candidates, which contested only against JDU and not against BJP candidates. So that is not the real position of JDU. If LJP was not there, they would have done definitely much better. So BJP needs JDU to achieve its mission 400. And after that, of course, it will see what needs to be done. It does not have a leader to match the charisma of Nitish. I agree with Ashutosh Ji in that sense that the number 2 leader today in Bihar is Tejasvi Yadav, and BJP does not have a leader even in the Vidhan Sabha elections to match up to Tejasvi, and that's why probably it has fallen back again.
Well, they've tried different formulae. They haven't found a yogi yet in Bihar. Maybe they don't want to find a yogi in Bihar, but whatever they've tried so far hasn't really delivered the right results. Himanshu Mishra tracks the BJP very closely for us. Himanshu, you and I were both in Parliament meeting one of the senior most BJP leaders who used very powerful language to say, over my dead body, never will Nitish Kumar come back to the NDA. This was soon after the last betrayal. What then has changed in the minds of the top BJP leadership from swearing they wouldn't welcome him back? It seems they're laying out the political red carpet once again, Himanshu.
देखिए राहुल, मुझे लगता है नीतीश कुमार एक गाना गुनगुनाते हैं, जहां जहां मैं चला जाता हूं कुर्सी वहां वहां खुद ब खुद अपने आप आ जाती है। यानी कि नीतीश कुमार अगर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है तो भी मुख्यमंत्री हैं और अगर आरजेडी के साथ है तो भी मुख्यमंत्री हैं। दुविधा देखिए कि दोनों ही पार्टियों की जो सीटें हैं वो नीतीश कुमार से लगभग डबल हैं, दुगनी हैं। लेकिन मजबूरी ये है कि आरजेडी की भी कि नीतीश ही कुमार है मुख्यमंत्री, और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लिए तो मजबूरी भी है और जरूरी भी है। इसीलिए नीतीश कुमार को ही भारतीय जनता पार्टी मुख्यमंत्री मानती है। आप देखिए, जब 2005 के अंदर भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने वहां सरकार बनाने का दावा पेश किया था, तब जेडीयू की सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी से कम थी, उनको मुख्यमंत्री का बनाया। उसके बाद दोबारा चुनाव हुए, नीतीश के नेतृत्व में फिर से मुख्यमंत्री उन्हीं को बनाया, सरकार बनाई गई। 2010 के अंदर उनके नेतृत्व में फिर से सरकार बनी, 13 में वो छोड़कर चले गए और 15 में उन्होंने लालू यादव के साथ मिलकर जो है सरकार बनाई। नीतीश कुमार के पास 70 सीटें थी, आरजेडी पे 80 सीटें थी, तब भी मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश ही कुमार हुए। 17 में वो बीजेपी के साथ जाते हैं।
No, but what's the current plan? Will he stay chief minister after the 24 elections? Because after the 24 elections, the BJP doesn't need him as much. Or could the BJP say Tata goodbye to Nitish Kumar after May?
देखिए, मुझे लगता है कि कुछ डील जरूर हुई है, लेकिन इतना जरूर है जो जेडीयू की तरफ से कहा जा रहा है कि नीतीश कुमार जो है 2025 के विधानसभा चुनाव तक मुख्यमंत्री रहेंगे। लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जो है नीतीश कुमार का जो वोट बैंक है लवकुश, उसमें डेंट मारने का काम पिछले 1.5 साल में किया है। जब उन्होंने सम्राट चौधरी को प्रदेश अध्यक्ष बनाया, दूसरी तरफ विधान परिषद में जो है साहनी को जो है वहां पे लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन बनाया, साथ ही साथ जो है कर्पूरी ठाकुर को भारत रत्न दिया, जो अति पिछड़ी जाति से आते हैं और बिहार के गरीबों के मसीहा कहे जाते हैं। उसके बाद अगर सरकार बना रहे हैं तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इस बात का इल्म जरूर है कि नीतीश कुमार के साथ जो अति पिछड़ा और पिछड़ा वोटर है उसको किस तरीके से अपने पक्ष में लाना है। और नीतीश कुमार की जो राजनीति है अब वो ढलान की तरफ है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी चाहती है कि उनका पूरा वोट बैंक जो है वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ जुड़ जाए, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ अभी तक बिहार में ये कहा जाता था कि जो स्वर्णों जो अपर कास्ट है वो वोट बैंक है, और अगर उसमें अति पिछड़ा जुड़ जाएगा तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी यहां पर सत्ता पे काबिज हो सकती है, अपना मुख्यमंत्री बना सकती है। और इसीलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने एक बार फिर से स्वीकार किया, क्योंकि 2024 में अगर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ नीतीश नहीं होते तो नतीजे 2019 जैसे नहीं होंगे। ये बात भारतीय जनता पार्टी के केंद्रीय नेतृत्व को बहुत अच्छी तरीके से मालूम थी। इसीलिए नीतीश के ऊपर जो है वो एक कहावत है, कटिया डालने का काम। जब नीतीश को कन्वीनर नहीं बनाया तो कटिया डालने का काम जो है वो तब से शुरू हो गया था, और मीसा भारती के ट्वीट ने उस पर आग में घी डालने का काम किया, और नीतीश कुमार अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पाले में आते नजर आ रहे हैं। राहुल,
well, they put the bait out, and yes, the fish did grab the bait, and then the rest is history. He's being netted by the BJP once again. Sanjay Kumar, you understand the minutiae of Bihar politics well. How do you think this impacts the Lok Sabha elections in the data, in the way that it stands? If it's BJP, JDU together, the problem they'll have is they also have the LJP. At this moment, they have Maji. So they really have a lot of little parties that they'll somehow have to adjust while ensuring that the BJP gets the maximum possible share.
Yes, Rahul, I think there is a problem of oversized coalition. And if Nitish Kumar is going to join NDA along with several other smaller parties, BJP, JDU and several other parties forms a nature of a coalition which is an oversized coalition, because when Nitish Kumar was not in the alliance, I think LJP and other smaller parties, they were all expecting that they will get a larger number of seats. That's not going to happen now. But I think whatever may be the contradictions, BJP will be able to sort out these contradiction of seat sharing between the NDA. And it's a win-win situation for Nitish Kumar. It's a win-win situation for NDA in 2024. There is no narrative which can suggest, no ifs and buts, which can suggest that this is not going to help NDA, this is not going to help BJP, or this is not going to be in the benefit of Nitish Kumar. So Nitish Kumar, BJP and NDA all in a win-win situation with the new alliance emerging.
Manisha Prayam, data says that Nitish Kumar has about a 16% vote share, but largely that's been on the back of an alliance with the BJP or the RJD. What's your best sense after all these political somersaults, some of that sheen of Sushasan Babu wearing off? How much vote share do you think he might still be left with? And how is it that this man, whose journey you followed through the decades, can pull off these dangerous somersaults and each and every time land on his feet and never crash on his back?
So I think the answers lie not in the data. And today's political stock exchange is actually the political storyline. And you also, a couple of minutes ago, you were looking at the story of the fish and the bait. And I think the very important part here is to understand all points, the history of it. 1993, my daughter was born. There was a function to felicitate her coming. But the only memory we have is that Nitish and Lalu did not talk to each other. And I remember I nudged my father and said, why is this happening? And he said, inka personal manmutav hai. And I think everything that has happened over the years, that manmutav explains the fact that Nitish he can even be okay with a Tejaswi. But Mr. Lalu Yadav driving the reins of power, and Nitish feels the heat. He felt the heat that Lalu Yadav and Congress were getting too close together. Remember, the Bharat Jodo Yatra is entering the Purnia side, and Nitish doesn't trust when the Congress is being dominated by Lalu Prasad Yadav in Bihar. He does not trust that, number one. Second important point is that don't forget that all the close advisors of Nitish Kumar are actually the young boys of politics that the late Mr. Arun Jaitley ji groomed. Now, they remain there through all the somersaults. They remain loyal to Mr. Nitish Kumar. They don't flex their muscles like the Yadavs, but they remain there. The moment they see, like the weatherman, that something's going to happen, which is going to take the ship of Sushashan Babu away, they advise him, and that advice works very well. But Nitish keeps restraint as a politician. He does not speak out of turn. But look at the quality and the caliber of the young men who are now seasoned politicians, groomed by the late Arun Jaitley, and around Mr. Nitish Kumar as advisors. Very, very important to remember that. Remember also that the Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah ji, who we see as speaking strong in Delhi, have maintained a very soft relationship with Mr. Nitish Kumar. Remember, the governor right now, Shri Arlekar ji, he's had a very cordial relationship with Nitish Kumar. As early as February, when I was doing some ground level field work amongst the contending OBC castes, the Kurmis and the Koiris, the Samrat Chaudhary supporters and Nitish Kumar supporters, the Patel Chhatravas being the Kurmi people, I was told by a hint that yes, we may be fighting on the street, but the governor is very kind to Mr. Nitish Kumar. So I knew that this is the wily politician. Remember, no politician is supposed to speak out of turn. So I believe very much that the relationships between the Honorable Prime Minister and Mr. Nitish Kumar have remained very, very cordial. And there have been many, many channels than what we can see here. And remember, wily politicians are not always supposed to speak of their maneuvers or what moves they're going to make. And also remember the very important factor that's running on the tickers. Now, what was the manmutav between Nitish and the BJP? A young boy called Chirag Paswan. Now, he upset the apple cart. Whatever you say about anti-incumbency, etc., most of the important seats that Nitish lost in his strongholds was because Chirag took the important votes away. Now, I think behind the curtains, it's been settled that, yes, you are the leader. And remember,
so what happens then to Chirag Paswan? Will Chirag stay in the NDA fold? Or will he now find
stay in the NDA fold, but you have to understand that the Mukhya of the NDA fold will always be Mr. Nitish Kumar.
But you're seeing that there are lots in the BJP legislative party who are saying that is bar CM hamara hona chahiye. Why does Nitish become CM? We are the larger party.
Because the BJP itself took on a very aggressive turn. They've gone hammer and tongs. Each district has a BJP office. The BJP of the early 2000s in Bihar is not the BJP today. 2.5 decades, they've worked the midnight soil, they've burnt and built their cadre, they've built their offices. And remember also, the Bharat Ratna to Karpoori Thakur was that important message that came in. And when you saw the acceptance speech coming from Nitish Kumar, I knew then that there was a tango. He said in the acceptance speech that what Karpoori stood for the most of all was that he never accepted Parivarvad. And he turned around and said, look, Ramnath ji ko to humne banaya. And I knew that that message was that Karpoori's big message is leave Parivar aside. Who else, apart from Nitish, uses his lines? The Honorable Prime Minister himself. So it takes two to tango. Remember to read political novels like they should be. Political maneuvers and political strategies don't always come up on the stock exchange numbers, Rahul. You'll always need me to tell you what's happening on the ground there.
That's why we have you on the show, and that's why we have such a varied panel, and it's fantastic to have your insights based on your first-hand research. I want to come now to what is the most important question of this week's political stock exchange. If Nitish Kumar joins the NDA, does this mean the end of the India alliance? That's my question. So on this question, I want to walk across and give you the results. Because remember, it really comes down to this. Mamata Banerjee says, I'll fight alone. Akhilesh Yadav is given 11 seats, take it or leave it. So if Nitish joins the NDA, is it the end of the India alliance? 32% of overall voters say yes, game over. That's 3 in 10 are convinced that's the end of the India alliance. 4 in 10 say no, it's not the end. 42% saying no, it's not the end. 26% are confused. That's 1 in 4 confused with very good reason, because you can't quite be sure. But let's leave the NDA voters aside. Leave this aside, because obviously the NDA voters want the India alliance end. Let's see what the opposition voters, those who are likely to vote for the opposition parties, what do they feel in Bihar? 28% of opposition voters say game over for the India alliance. 47% say no, game is not over. 1/4 again don't know, can't say. Yashwant, how would you read this data? 47% say no, game is not over. So at least half your opposition voters think that the game is still on. The other way to look at it is that half either don't know or they think it's game over. So it's bad news for the India alliance, no matter which way you try and split this data.
Well, Rahul, that half of it is the absolute core vote, of RJD, which would never surrender, come what may. And 1/4 is basically that JDU voter inside the Mahagathbandhan, which would be saying that, okay, it's game over for them and let's make a new game somewhere else in that way. However, Rahul, there is one key number. Everybody keeps on talking about 16% vote share of JDU as the core, which used to make sense because the two blocks, that is the RJD Congress block around 35% and the BJP and plus Paswan block as around 35% each, and 16% of Nitish Kumar making this way or that way. However, my personal assessment is, which Manisha can actually explain it, and this is purely number, Manisha, but you can explain why I am feeling like that. I feel that there is no more 16%. It's hardly about 6% left. Over the last 10 years particularly, I think that 16% which he polled in for 2014, contesting all alone, 10% of that block is gone. A part of the upper caste and the OBC from that side have gone to the BJP, part of the minorities and EBCs have gone to the Lalu Yadav side. And he is now left with 6-7 odd % of his core constituency, if I may say so. However, even that 6 or 7% of this core constituency is the make or break constituency. Because if you are looking at, 45-40 kind of a split before all this happened, you just take that 6-7% away, it looks like only 6-7% from one alliance to the other, but Rahul, practically 6% switch means 12% swing. A gap of 12% gap that gets over, and 12% in Bihar, huge. I mean, it's actually...
Okay, Manisha Prem, respond to Yashwant's theory. I argued the same, that 16% is what it feels that Nitish Kumar's vote share is, but when you actually test it, and there's no way to know because he hasn't fought alone without the BJP or the RJD, that 16 would be lesser. Yashwant says it would be as less as 6.
No, I don't think it's been tested yet. And the important reason for this is not that they've not gone to elections. There is a very important issue called combination politics. Now, if you see the Padma Award list, the Bharat Ratna to Karpoori Thakur comes along with Dr. C.P. Thakur also having been given one of the highest civilian honors, the Padma Bhushan. Remember, he is the person who's fought with all the senas of central Bihar, and he's been accepted as a leader of the upper caste Bhumihars. It also tells you that the caste census has not had the impact of dividing and polarizing the Agada Pichdas as the Pichda or the Mandalite believers would have us believe. Now, Nitish Kumar, therefore, is the main architect of the combination politics in Bihar. The Bhumihars strongly see him as their leader. The Rajputs don't distrust him. Now, put him there as the leader. He's very trusted. And then you get the transfer votes of the Ati Pichdas.
How can you trust someone who keeps doing these Nadia Comaneci type of gymnastic somersaults?
So you are asking someone who I did disclose to you that the two main guests happen to be the two leaders that you see on both sides. I will be a confused child, but they will be my leaders. And if the Prime Minister is going to announce Karpoori Thakur for Bharat Ratna, it allows me and my Bihari identity to speak about Karpoori Thakur on the most eminent political news channel of this country, which since 1987, remember VP Singh was brought to power when a deal was brokered between Karpoori Thakur and VP Singh. Now these are facts of history that never see the limelight. And you cannot imagine the joy of me, who as a Samajwadi daughter of the land today believes that this honor to Karpoori Thakur has brought only tears in my eyes. What he stood for, you see some parts of it. And the poor people of this country, the poorest of the world, will do their politics differently. Don't think of us as Palturam. Don't think of us as anything like that. The coolies of the world will do their politics differently. Our leaders are important to us. You may give them any sobriquet, but the socialist leaders and the socialist ideology remains very integral to our very being.
Given the high level of opportunism that's at play, you're attempting to give a moral halo to what is ranked political opportunism, ma'am.
So what is the political opportunism about this? Politics is about coming to the chair. Then you would rate Karpoori as the opportunist. I can give you many more stories. But the fact is that politics is an opportunity. There was a JP model that said that I will not take the chair. But the Karpoori model never said no to the political chair. He became the chief minister even at the height in 77 with the support of the Jansangh. And those of you who do not know, when the Mandal politics then in the Mungeri Lal Commission format was announced, then on my veranda, Kailashpati Mishra and Karpoori broke ranks. And the third person brokering between them was Krishori Prasanna Singh of the CPI. Now, who would ever know that the CPI had supported implicitly a government of the Jansangh, that Nanaji Deshmukh and Karpoori had sat together to launch newspapers because Indira Gandhi was banning the press then. So leave us with our complications and understand us as being very moral coolies. Let our politics unite us. And thank you for allowing the opportunity to speak about political morality, which is different from any other form of morality.
If the left and the Sangh Parivar are doing political parlays, then sab mile hue hain ji. Okay, Ashutosh, is it the end of the India alliance? That's the question. Half the respondents seem to think that it is, even within amongst the overall, 32.2% saying yes, 42% saying no. What's your sense? Can they take these kind of blows? Mamta first, Nitish next, maybe Akhilesh after this, who knows?
I think it's a big setback, there is no doubt about it. But India Gathbandhan has a two dimension. One, it's a great setback in Bihar, but still minus JDU, it's a formidable alliance. I will still say a formidable alliance if you go by assembly election data, that is 37-38% vote share. In Bengal, I think that the matter will be...
No, but Ashutosh, that assembly election happened just after COVID, when the government was largely absent, and therefore you saw lack of governance. Now, Ram Mandir has happened, the victory in the heartland has happened, Nitish is... So all that can be working in the favor of Modi and the BJP and the NDA, those are all the tailwinds they carry to the hustings with them.
No, I think Rahul, it has busted the myth that if the two of the three are together, they'll sweep the elections. This did not happen in 2020 assembly elections. And imagine the two most formidable leaders, Narendra Modi and Nitish Kumar, were together. And on the other side was not Lalu Yadav, but Tejasvi, an upstart politician. And if he could give a tough fight to these two leaders and can scare them, they almost form the government. So I will not say that the India alliance is dead in Bihar. That's something else. But yes, it's a great setback. There is no doubt about it. But in Bengal, my sense is that finally Mamata Banerjee and the Congress will come on the same page. And Adhir Ranjans of the world will be asked to shut his mouth, and he will do that. As a politics of optics, Nitish deserting has really damaged the India Gathbandhan at the all India level. There's no doubt about it. But to call it dead, I will not buy that argument.
Sanjay Kumar, where do you come out on this question? Do you think this is the beginning of the end of the India alliance?
In terms of perception, yes, because what would happen is that if there is only a mechanical alliance between different political parties, on the ground, on the day of election, voters of these parties may be able to transfer their vote to the best of their ability. But what you need, only with that alliance, the India Gathbandhan cannot defeat BJP in a large number of constituency, and only if the alliance partner are able to transfer the vote, they would be, in some position to challenge the BJP. But my own sense is that BJP would be, or NDA would be comfortable in winning the 2024 election. What the India alliance need is a positive narrative in their favor, so that they are able to mobilize what we call the neutral voters, who are not taken firm sides either on right or on the other side.
But that's what they don't have. They have no positive narrative. Everything from assembly election results to the Ram Mandir, Mamata Banerjee, Nitish Kumar, all these balls are swinging the NDA's way.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Nitish Kumar moving away from India alliance, going to NDA, that's going to completely destroy the narrative that even they can come together, leave aside having a positive narrative. And that is why my own sense is that, yes, in terms of narrative and also in terms of electoral alliance, my own sense is that this is an end to India alliance for 2024.
You're saying it's the end. Amitabh Tiwari, what we must not forget is that in the last assembly elections, the Congress had 9.5% vote share and 19 MLAs. Quite a few of those MLAs could potentially switch. That's the buzz. We don't know for sure, which is why there was supposed to be a show of strength of Congress MLAs to welcome Rahul Gandhi into Purnia when he was coming there. They've told them to park that idea because they don't know how many will show up. Many of these could desert still, and that would make it worse.
Yeah, so Nitish Kumar has earlier engineered defections in the Congress party. Now Ashok Chaudhary, who is one of his trusted lieutenants, was part of Congress earlier. So yeah, it could happen because the numbers are on the brink. Even if with JDU, BJP and HUM, the number is 127. If HUM shifts to RJD Gathbandhan because he's been offered a deputy CM or a CM chair, then this number falls to 123. So you will need some sort of an Operation Lotus to be on a comfortable side, because now Congress as well as the RJD are upping their game and they are trying to coach, because one of the main things is also here that 11-12 MLAs had gone to Lalu Yadav's house with Lallan Singh. Now, does Lallan Singh have 11-12 MLAs in the JDU camp? Can he cross them over to the RJD camp? That's one of the key questions going forward. On the question of, I just want to humbly disagree with Yashwant Ji, is my guru in that sense. That 16% vote share JDU got when it contested alone in 2014. In 2019, JDU got 22.5% vote share. As per CSDS, Sanjay Ji's data, 1/4 of votes which the allies of BJP got is due to Modi factor. Even if we remove that 5.5% votes from JDU's vote share, it still falls to 15-16%. So as per data, it seems that he was certainly able to maintain his vote share. And as Manisha ji is saying, he has a dedicated pool of voters among Kurmi, Koiri, EBC community, and we forget the Mahadalit community. He created the Mahadalit category and ended the politics of LJP, which used to get 12% vote share. Now only Paswans are outside of Mahadalit, and all Dalits are part of the Mahadalit category. And your data is showing that in 2019, the Musahar community, which is part of the Mahadalit, 65% of them voted for the NDA.
I disagree with you only for the reason that you will never know till he fights alone. See, all of this is the vote where people are voting when the BJP is also on that same ticket, or in the previous elections, the RJD wasn't. So you look at the combine of the RJD and the BJP and the JDU, or the JDU and the BJP, and then say he's still left with about 15.39% of the vote in 2020. We'll know this not as a simulation, as reality only when he fights alone. Till then, there's no way of knowing. We can keep having this argument, and the argument is a lot of fun. Let me come to the last question on this week's edition of the Political Stock Exchange. Do you think news reports of Nitish Kumar not participating in Rahul Gandhi's Nyaya Yatra indicate he will switch sides again? 42% of the respondents say yes, 22% say no, 35% don't know. Ashutosh, why does this leave the Nyaya Yatra? Maybe instead of calling it the Nyaya Yatra, you should have called it the India Yatra. Somehow, Rahul Gandhi, as only Rahul Gandhi can, decided to do his own number in the midst of all these parties trying to come together as part of an India alliance. He decided to do a Nyaya Yatra. If he'd properly done an India Yatra, invited Mamata Banerjee, Sitaram Yechury, invited Nitish Kumar, Akhilesh Yadav, they possibly would, they would have still been badly off, but better off than getting battered in the way. It's almost like a Panauti Yatra. Wherever they go, something's going wrong. From West Bengal, Mamata fighting alone, Bihar, now Nitish is running away. It's really not turning out to be Nyaya. It's more Panauti than Nyaya.
Rahul, this Panauti word is a very dangerous one. Let's not get into that, because people get offended when you call somebody Panauti. See, I think one of the perceptions which is being made is that this yatra is done in the context of 2024. I have never thought that this yatra was done in the context of 2024. This is basically a Congress yatra, and the Congress yatra is to build Congress from the scratch. And if it has been a India Gathbandhan yatra, then obviously India would have benefited, and the Congress would not have benefited from that perspective. I don't think that Rahul Gandhi and the Khadge are
build India. No, once again, if you want to build Congress afresh, you do it after the Lok Sabha elections. Right now, the battle is the Lok Sabha. It's like the World Cup is T20, he's playing Test. When the World Cup is Test, he's playing T20. Abhi kya Congress bana rahe? Do that after the Lok Sabha elections. Right now, focus on the India alliance.
No, Rahul, tell me one thing. Even if this yatra was not happening, at least Rahul Gandhi and the Congress leader would have been going to the different parts of the country and holding rallies. Same thing. So if they are walking from one place to another place and talking to the people on the road or in the streets or in the bazaar, and then holding rallies, three, four rallies or 3-4 nukkad rallies a day, what's wrong in it?
No, but it doesn't matter what you and I think. See what Mamata Banerjee felt. See what Nitish Kumar felt. They're the ones who are getting offended, and you're supposed to keep them on side because you need them for the Lok Sabha elections.
Let's not confuse. Mamata Banerjee, a few days back, what did she say? She said that Rahul Gandhi is the biggest, biggest beneficiary. It was the biggest mascot of Narendra Modi. That she wanted to say that Rahul Gandhi is the biggest asset for the Narendra Modi. Within 2 months, she changed her opinion. In Bengal, I see no setback. Within a few days or the other weeks, the situation will be sorted out. Nitish Kumar, whether he was made a convener or not convener, it is a matter of investigation. Since how long he was hobnobbing with the BJP, because there was a serious threat of half of his MPs walking from the JDU to the BJP, and that is one reason that he removed Lalan Singh in the last month. So it's not that this was happening this happened in the last 3-4 days. This was happening for a very long time. And you remember what Amit Shah has said to the Rajasthan Patrika. Somebody who said in the Jhanjharpur rally that the doors are completely closed, he said, "Agar prastav aayega to uske bare mein hum sochenge." So the things were building up, and BJP knew that why he needs Nitish Kumar, for the simple reason because they don't want to come down from 39 to 32 or 33 seats. But the utility is, Nitish Kumar's utility is till 2024 parliamentary election. Mark my word, after 2024 parliamentary election, Nitish will be dumped.
Well, he's a very clever politician, as everyone can see quite as day. Will he have outthought? Is that even possible? Because once 24 happens, his utility is indeed much lesser than it is later. Could he then come back to the RJD? Which is why, as one BJP...
Not happening.
Sab kehte hain, sir, wo pehle kehte hain, phir that's why they say it's a door. It's not a wall, it's a door. Which is why it opens and Nitish Kumar walks in. Nobody builds a wall against him. They build only doors.
I don't think that is happening, but in politics, anything can happen anytime.
Today, you should have read what Tejasvi Yadav said. He said, we all hold respect for Nitish Kumar, and he has his own reasons, compulsions, which I don't want to say now, as he said. So he is also keeping the doors open. See, nobody wants elections. Everybody wants to serve 5-year term. Tejasvi Yadav can become deputy CM only under Nitish Kumar's chief ministership. So politics is a game of possibilities. If BJP pushes him to the back wall, he can again go back to MGP.
Well, we used to think that Nadia Comaneci is the ultimate gymnast. She got a 10 on 10. But when it comes to political gymnastics, you have to say hats off Nitish Kumar. He can do what you can't imagine being possible. You think he'll fall on his back and snap his bone, but somehow he lands on his feet. The BJP is clapping for him, and even the RJD is saying they respect him. This is the ultimate political jugaad master, the ultimate political weathervane. Ashutosh, Sanjay Kumar, Manisha Priyam, Amitabh Tiwari, and Yashwant Deshmukh. I've enjoyed this conversation very much, and I hope so have our viewers. Sharp insights from sharp political minds on how the situation in Bihar is evolving. As we've said, nobody covers politics in quite the way that the India Today group does. So I hope you'll stay tuned to our live and continuing coverage. We've got the maximum number of reporters on the ground. They're breaking the most number of stories. And frankly, no one can quite make sense of a fast-moving Indian news story in the way that India Today can. So thank you for tuning in. Our teams will have a lot more on the other side. Stay with us.